So Operation Logic Bomb is a weird game with a cool title, cool idea, and cool graphics. Not a very good game, and it came out in 1993. Not bad, but it's not good. It's mediocre. I'd give it like a 6.5 out of 10. The reason I'm playing it today is because the last time I played it, I got all the way to the end, but I died at the final boss, and I want to beat it. So the thing is that it's structured like an arcade game. And actually, if I can remember what to do, because even though it's structured like an arcade game, you have 3 credits, it's actually just very, more like a Metroid type or Zelda type game where you explore and like this, you kill that crab thing and turns. Everything's a crab in this game. All the bosses are crabs. I don't know. The game has crabs, I guess you could say. I don't know if I could phrase it another way. Pretty much all you do is you just blow everything up and go to these terminals, and it seems like an easy game, but it gets hard only because you only have so many lives, and so you have to just be really fucking careful. It's not long, but it's not short. It's about an hour to finish it, but I'll probably do it a lot faster just because I know what I'm doing. The thing is, you can't run past. You have to kill every enemy. Because you see, like here, if I don't kill everything here, not only will it damage me, but it might not unlock something later, and I won't know. Because sometimes you need to do this to unlock a door, or see to make this appear, which is probably going to turn that, eventually this is going to turn on over here. You see there's still an enemy there. It's very just... The good thing about it is you get a couple of different weapons. Not that they're great, but actually, I like all the weapons in this game. The main thing is just not to die, because if you die 3 times, you're done. 3 strikes and you're out, and you're just starting the whole game over. So it's like Zelda or something, but you don't get much room for error. Thankfully, though, if you know what you're doing, it's actually very easy. I have strategies for all the bosses, so aside from the last one, but I'll have to come up with a strategy, because that one's just fucking annoying. Yeah, the main trick to this game is to know to hold the L or R button. I think the L button, yeah, or the L or the R button to strafe. If you don't know how to strafe, it's about 5 times harder, I would say. It's much like Metroid, where if you don't know how to strafe, the game is just going to be significantly harder, because strafing is going to make everything just... You can't peek around corners otherwise. Otherwise, you'll just be like running and running away and shooting, and that's like impossible. It's the same thing with Doom. It's the same thing with any shooting game. If a shooting game allows you to strafe, usually you need to strafe, or you're gonna suck. Actually, I don't know if in Doom, but most FPS games. I actually like Blood better than Doom. That's a better FPS game. Example. Harder, it's much harder than Doom, and better made, I think. Okay. So basically, this is the sort of game where you can play it with your eyes closed, but it'll be a lot faster if you know what you're doing. And you face a couple bosses like this guy, this crab here, and basically they all have really stupid patterns. Like here, you see you just move to the side, and you can't do anything, it's really stupid. I'm used to playing like really hard games lately, so this one's kind of just like... It's only hard because if you get a game over, you're done. You can't try again. I think you touch this and it... But yeah, I never beat this. I got to the final boss and I suck, so I didn't beat it, and that sucks to get all the way to the final boss and then lose. But that's what happened. And I don't know if you get a game over if you can continue or you have to start the level over or what. There's no level if you just keep going, but... So every time you touch something, or you touch a terminal, or you step on something, or you blow that thing in the middle up, you get a weird cutscene, and I don't know, I never understood what the purpose of this was, because it doesn't really tell you anything interesting. Usually. One of them is useful, the rest are completely useless. They don't tell you anything interesting pertaining to the gameplay. I guess it's for story, which back then, I guess... It was impressive. So this is the first of many times where you have to blow something up to open a door, and there's obstacles, and you have to do that a lot. And it's like Zelda, where you pick up a weapon you pick up a new weapon and use it to get through the obstacle, but you only use it one time to get through the obstacle, pretty much. So it's not like the hook shot in Zelda or something like that if you've played that. Some of these terminals will give you the download the map, some of them show you cutscenes, and some of them will refill your health. The new weapons are stored in like these cases that you find, and they're very rare. There's only about 3 of them, 3 or 4 of them in the game. There's 4, I think. Well, maybe 5. 4. There's a flamethrower, which is the most useful weapon. There's a laser. That's pretty. The laser's pretty useful because it bounces off walls. I'm trying to think if there's any other that are useful. Let me move this microphone closer because I don't know how well I can be heard right now. It was actually turned around. I bought a new microphone recently, so... Okay. So now you see, like, after I saw that cutscene, I don't know what I'm doing. There's a lot of just wandering around and wondering what the fuck you're supposed to be doing in this game. But fortunately, it's not too bad. Usually it only takes a couple minutes to figure out where you need to go, but it's just like, it could be anything. So it's not really exploration and it's not really creative. It's just, where the fuck do I go kind of game. So now I touch this, and this is what? Okay, another cutscene showing me... This music sounds a lot like Metroid. By the way, if you haven't played Scourge Hive, it's for the Game Boy Advance and the Nintendo DS. It is one of the best Metroid clones, and it looks a lot like this game, and it plays a bit like it, but it's about 5 times better. So definitely try Scourge Hive. It's hard though; it's a very hard game. This game not so hard, I would say. You can't skip these either, you have to watch them. So even if you've seen it before, you have to watch it every time. This is like the only arcade game with cuts. How could this be an arcade game? I don't understand. Like, I don't think it was. I think it was made for arcades, but it never, like, I could never imagine seeing this in an American arcade. But it says Credit 3, so it's designed like an arcade game. I'll have to look up to see if this was ever actually released in arcades. But you see, this is where it gets tricky, because now you gotta kind of time it. Most of the time, though, the turrets are just like an obstacle to get past. It's the soldiers that require you to just hang back. Nothing in this game is really that challenging if you take your time. The bosses are all easy except for the last one, I would say. There's one that's kind of tricky until you use the strategy that I provide, but that's it, really. So if you try to beat this game with my strategies, you'll probably do it, because they'll work. I don't know about the last boss, though. I still haven't come up with a viable strategy for that. My hope is that I can get to the end with 3 continues, and then I'll just, like, nail it very quickly and not have to worry about it. These things, I don't even know what these are supposed to be. They're like junk blobs. I've never seen something like this in a video game. Very odd looking thing. And you always have to look after you kill all the enemies at what, like, did a door open, did a terminal turn on, and sometimes it's something across the level, and it's really irritating. But yeah, like I said, this isn't that great of a game, but it's playable for sure. There are much worse games you could be playing that I have played. Okay, so this is the map. The thing is that you unlock these different floors, and there are elevators, but the thing is you never really know because you're just constantly moving forward, and sometimes you'll step into, like, sometimes you'll blow something up and you'll just end up on a different floor and the game doesn't explain anything. Sometimes you'll download a different map that you're part of the map. I don't even know how that works. Like, you're in virtual reality. This game is trippy as fuck, but it doesn't make any sense. So in terms of navigation, you're not really going to get anything out of this game, I would say.